Hello. Hello everyone. I'm sorry I am late. This day's it's just gone so fast. How did the day go so fast? Anyway. So, who all has already registered for the Blessed Bible Journaling Conference? Hi Candace. Hi Bree. Hello Lani. So I was just asking who has already registered for the Blessed Bible Journaling Conference. It is happening soon, 15th of October. 14 days away, 2 weeks, ladies. Okay, so what today is all about is I thought I would walk you through how I prepare and set up for the conference. A lot of people, I noticed, especially in the pop-up group on the conference, were asking what to do. People who haven't done the conference before were asking a lot of questions. So I thought I would chat with you guys, since I'm here, about the conference and how I'm going to be preparing for it. So firstly, it is all online. The whole conference happens online. You need to obviously register on the Blessed Bible Journaling Conference site. I'll share a link in the comment section. There is, I think we've pinned it as well on the page, but I'll share the link again if you haven't yet registered. When you register for the conference, there's different options. There's the free option, and then there's a paid option, and there's the one with the Premier Pack, which is additional items. So there's sort of different tiers, but even if you're just getting the free option, you have access to all the speakers, all the videos. You have 24 hours from the time the session starts to watch it, and each speaker has certain downloads and items that they use for their session. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, where to find it and what to do. So it starts on October the 15th. When you register and you go online, and I will share on my YouTube, I did do a screen recording of the actual website and how to navigate on the website. But when you register, it will show you a schedule in your time zone, because obviously it's international. Everyone's time zones are going to be different. So the days will be the same, the dates, but the times will be different depending on the time zone that you're in. When I say the times are different, we'll all be watching it at the same time, just in our own time zones. Hopefully that makes sense. Hello Toki, glad you could join us. So the theme for this year's conference is the Beatitudes, and we are super blessed, pardon the pun, to have 3 of our admin team members actually speakers at this conference. So myself and Candace are all speakers at the conference, which I'm so excited about. So this is something, so when you register, you will get a schedule, and there will also be a link when you register to a Facebook pop-up group. So the Facebook group is only open for a limited time, and Shalyn Day, who's the event administrator, she always describes it as, consider it the hallway outside the conference room, the virtual hallway, where we can get together and chat and meet one another and discuss. And this was available in the pop-up group. They do one each year, which is like a ticket, a commemorative ticket, and I'm going to be using that in my notebook, but I'll show you when we get to that. So some of the ways that I prep. This is just a stock standard flip file. So this one has 50 pages in it, and I think we actually only have 24 speakers. Hold on, wait, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I was right, 24 speakers. So in theory, a 24-page folder would have been suffice. I just happened to have one that was 50 pages. Now, I have so far only printed mine and Anne's and Candace's things, but as I get through it, I will eventually get around to printing everybody's. And then what I will do is I will label each, so each pocket has got that speaker's content, and I will label it with that speaker so that I know where to find everything. So this is where I'm storing the downloads. So the downloads are found on the conference website. When you go into your schedule, you'll see, it'll say, for example, for mine, you'll see my name, what day I'm on, what time, and when you click on that on your schedule, it'll take you to a page that'll tell you about my session, and there'll be session downloads. So that is where you find these downloads. So for Anne, when you click on Anne's session, and you can get these now, even though the actual session isn't available yet, the downloads are available. So you click on Anne's session, and on the website, on the Blessed Bible Journaling website, you'll click on her session, and you will see the downloads on the right-hand side of the screen, and you'll just download everything there. So you can download and print, and that way you can have everything printed and ready to go, so that when you're doing the conference, it's already there. What's nice about doing that, this sort of prep in advance, is that especially if you're on the free ticket, you don't have to waste time going and downloading and printing things. You've already got it already. You can just grab and go. So let's have a look at what Anne has got ready for us. So this was all available in her downloads. So she's got Study the Word here. She's got some Greek words. This is the cover page for what she's making. So everything's labeled as well. These are the other pages, and she's even given us, and you're so organized, Anne is so organized, she's given us instructions. I don't think I printed it. I print the, oh, there we go. So there's everything that we need for Anne's session, and she's actually given us printing instructions and booklet instructions. So she's included instructions, and there is word study. So these were all in her download. So I have downloaded and printed everything ready to go for Anne's session. So I will obviously label each pocket. I will probably, once I've printed each thing, I will probably put them in order of the sessions. But for now, I've just put them in the first three. So let's go to Candace. So when you click on Candace's session, it will also, hers is not on the right hand side. Her printable is I think she put it where the freebie goes, but that's the printable you need for the session. So this is the printable that she's going to be using, and if you want, you can even fussy cut so long, and then tuck whatever you fussy cut, you can tuck into your pockets. So depending on how much time and how much prep you want to do, you can even go ahead and do that. So here is everything that we're going to need for Anne's session, for Candace's session, and I've got that in one pocket. So I still have 2 weeks to finish printing for all the sessions and get everything into a pocket and labeled with the speaker so that I know where to find everything. This is for my session, so there's a couple of things in mine. You'll find a Blessed Bible Journaling Conference Pack, and that actually gives you a weekend. It's not actually over Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think it's in the week, but I've put it through a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday a 3-day sort of reflection on the Beatitudes and on the conference. I've also included a session notes printable, and this one you can print as many of these pages as you want. It's entirely up to you. Hello Magda, glad you could join us. So you can print as many of these as you want, and you can fill one for each and every speaker if you want. So while the session is going, you can put the speaker's name, the title, any scriptures, key points, conclusions, any notes. So if you want to, you can print 24 of these because there's 24 speakers. So you can print this 24 times. Optional, you don't have to do this. I just always like to include something that, and that's because I do it, I like to take notes on every session. So I normally just put one in the pack. So you've got your Bible Journaling Conference pack. Looks like that. Then you've got what you'll need for my actual session, the Upside Down Kingdom. So I have given you some scriptures and a little devotional. So there are notes there, a devotional that you can print, you can keep, you can put it, if you're doing the Sermon on the Mount study, maybe you want to add it in there. And then the actual printable that we're going to be working with during the session. So this is the printable that we're using. So that is all of that. Now, if you have opted for the Premier Pack, which is the one that has all the extras. So in the Premier Pack, this is the download that you'll get with the Premier Pack. There's a whole lot of stuff, obviously, in the Premier Pack. This is just from my particular session. So this is my one from the Premier Pack. It's a whole additional study. It also includes a page for verse mapping, a word study, and these you can print out and use as many times as you want. And you don't just have to use it for the Beatitudes or for the conference. You can use these templates for any studying that you're doing. Some additional note pages and some bookmarks. So that is all in the additional. So this last set you won't get on the free, this one, you won't get on the free ticket, but everything you need to do the conference and to do my session is available on the free ticket. So this is just an extra, it's an add-on. All right. So any questions so far? I think, I'm trying to see who's with us. I think most of you have done the conference before, so you kind of know what to expect. But I know there are some that haven't. It's their first time attending the conference, and it can seem a little overwhelming. There's so much going on, and maybe if you're in the Blessed Conference Facebook pop-up group, you're seeing all these people preparing, and you're like, what are they preparing? What do I need to prepare? What do I need to do? It can be a little overwhelming. So that is just my system of prep. It doesn't mean that you have to do it my way, but that's just the way I go about preparing. Then because, and I think you all know me by now, I love to reuse, recycle, revamp. So I have an old Happy Planner that's not being used anymore, and I am going to be repurposing it as a notebook for the conference. So what I did so long, to show you what I've done, is I made myself just a little schedule. So this is taken directly from the website, and obviously the times for me are in South African time. Whatever time it gives you on your schedule will be obviously in line with your time zone. But I've written down the time, what it is, and who. The time, 5:10 p.m, introduction to the Beatitudes, Tracy Rowland. So I've got for each day, day 1, day 2, and day 3. So you will find, for our group, you'll find myself and Candace on day 2, I am the second session on day 2. Candace is the third. And then Anne is on day 3. You'll find Anne on day 3. For me, she'll be on at 8 p.m., which will be around 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to catch us, that's when we are. But I've just put this in so that I can keep track. Some of them are very late for me because of the time difference. 10:35, 11 p.m., 11:50 p.m. I probably will watch those in the morning. So at least then I know when they're happening and what time. So I've put that together. And then obviously, like I said, I'll be repurposing. So currently I have tabs that say January, February, March, and so on. So I'll be taking these out and replacing my tabs with day 1, day 2, and day 3. So that is going to change to each day. And then I will be able to, so for example, I can add, let's go to mine and I'll show you. So obviously some of the printables are designed for Bible journaling. I'm going to be journaling in my Bible with them, but some of them are notes or note orientated or devotional in nature. So the ones that were notes or devotional in nature, I printed because I knew I was going to be using this Happy Planner. I printed things at 80% so that it'll be about the right size, so that you can cut this down. I'll just show you what I'm going to do. So I can cut it down to the size that I wanted. So you can print smaller, you can print bigger. I happen to know that I was using something that was kind of standard Happy Planner size. Just trim this down. So I printed at 80%. Could possibly have gone small, 85%. I could have gone maybe smaller, but that's also fine. So then this will fit in here quite nicely. I can just punch it with, I've got a Happy Planner punch. Well, I don't have an Happy Planner punch. A good friend of mine has a Happy Planner punch, and I will be punching all my pages with her and then just slotting them in for each day and each session, and that's how I'll be journaling. So note taking, so the session notes, for example, I also printed smaller so that I can cut them down and put them in, and I'll print 24 of these so that I can have one for each session. So again, let me just show you. So I'll cut that down to size. Are there any other questions? I know she's such a good friend, Magda. Are there any other questions about the conference or what to expect? Or if you have any questions, just pop them down. I don't guarantee to have the answers, but if there's anything I haven't covered yet in terms of preparation for the conference, please let me know. So I will have one of these for each session, each speaker. And again, this will get punched and popped in here. So just to show you that. then I like to do sort of a fun front page or cover or something for my journal. This is actually kind of pretty. It says She Blooms. So I'm in two minds about whether or not I want to cover that, or if I should just take this actual cover off and use a whole new cover. Maybe yes, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that off and use a whole new cover. So I pulled out this one because I felt like this is just ordinary cardstock scrapbooking paper. So just to show you, this is how the Happy Planner is all put together. So they're pretty simple they're actually really nice for adding and changing. They're very user-friendly. So let's just measure this using Charlene's super accurate measuring techniques. Okay, so I can trim that down. And this will become the new cover of this planner. Let's go with my corner pinch. Just round those corners nicely. And so this is going to be my new cover, and I am going to make a shaker box out of my tickets. Yep, you heard me, a shaker box. So I'm going to show you now how to do that. So I'm going to cut the ticket out. I think I need a new blade for my craft knife. And so the Blessed Bible Journaling Conference is, it's double-sided tape stuck in here, is like one of the highlights of my year. I love attending this conference, and I just find it so jam-packed with goodness, and there's just so much. I mean, it can keep you busy for the rest of the year. There's just so much to be had, whether you're doing the free ticket or buying the paid one, which then gives you lifetime access. There's just so much value in it, and it's such a nice community of people. It's really just such a blessing to be involved and a part of this conference. So I'm so grateful to be back again this year as a speaker. Where did I put it? Okay, so I'm going to need this, and I'm going to need this, and I think I have some pretty blue. Let's see what I've got. I've got some florals and a random cardstock here. Let's see if I've got something that works with this. So, this one's pretty. Doesn't really match. It's too green. It's too purple. Huh. These ones are more or less the right color. Kind of. Not sold on it though. don't know if I've got one that's like quite right. That's pretty. Ladies, I'm struggling to decide. So I'm really only needing like a little bit, like a tiny bit, because it's just the border. So maybe I should look at my smaller cardstock. I probably should have done this beforehand, but like I said, it's been there's just not enough hours in this day. So I do have some smaller cardstock. I'm just going to grab those out. So I think I actually have, if I can just find it, some nice blues. So that's a plain blue. And I haven't, there we go. That's the one I'm thinking of. That's perfect. This is the one we're going to use. That's the one. Okay, so some cardstock. These are actually for nail art. It's like 10 Rand, and you just buy it at a nail shop. Just open carefully. So these are like just little beads and blingies, just pretty things. So we're going to be using that. And then I'm not actually going to be using this stamp. I'm going to be using the packet that the stamp came in, because it just happened to conveniently be the size that I want. Yep, exactly the size that I want. Actually a little bit, oh, there's that one. That one's pretty too. Anyway, so we need our packet to be slightly, let's go up there. So we're back to Charlene's fancy method of measuring things. I am not that organized now. I wish I was more organized. Okay, so I am cutting this down a little bit smaller. So there we go. And we're going to cut. Let's try and cut that straight. I don't think that went all the way to it. So this is actually pretty handy because it's got a little seal at the top, which I've tried to keep intact. So the next thing we want to do with this is reseal the sides and the bottom that I cut, because now it opens and we don't want it to open. So let's just put that there so it's out the way. So we're going to reseal that, and to do that we're just going to grab some, I actually think sellotape will do the job for this. So we can use some sellotape for this. seconds. It ends there. It ends there. There we go. Not perfectly straight, but it'll do. So just close up that side, and then we'll close up the bottom, so that now we have a little plastic bag. Alright, so the bottom has been sealed on the side. And we still have our pockets, and this fits there. Perfect. So now what we want to do is we need another piece the same size. So again, back to my super technical measuring methods. Oh wow, Tim. You're excused. I don't know if you ladies could hear that. Boys. Okay, so we're going to cut that. Now what we're going to do is we are going to cut out the inside. So again, we're going to draw like a frame, and the frame is going to be, so I'm measuring it against, I'm using my cutting board. So that's for the width of my frame. So we're going to cut out the inside of this frame. I like this side of it too. Anyway, so now we have the frame. So we have our pockets. We have frame. And we're going to stick the frame first to the pocket. So I've got a thin double-sided tape. And I'm just going to put that on. I went a little skew there, so let's just trim that off. Tim, no. I have a bored child on my hands tonight. I'll just pin that. Cameron. There we go. Cut it off. So now the thing to remember when I stick this down to my plastic pocket is to make sure the opening for my plastic pocket is not stuck to this. So the opening must be at the back so that I can still get it open, because I need to obviously put my little shaker elements in. That's kind of important. So make sure, so this is the side that opens. I don't not want to stick my frame to that. I want to stick my frame on the other side. Actually, probably easier if I stick this to the frame. It's just, stop sticking to me. That's the back. Oh, that's good. Let me try and get this straight. Should be able to reposition. Should. The plastic should be easy enough to peel off. Not. Okay. So now we have our pockets. And I can, so you see it opens like that. I can pop my little blingies in. And seal it. And then this will get stuck down here. And we will have a really cute little shaker pocket. So back to my double-sided tape. And I am not going to stick the top section down, so that if I want to, I can open it up and add more or change anything I want in that shaker pocket. You can seal it down, but I'm not going to. that. Let's start on there. And then that will go on my cover. And I'm thinking these are such cute papers that I might actually layer another paper and then put this one on. So I'm going to play around with that, but that is how I make the cute little shaker pocket from the tickets. So there we go. Like I said, if there's any questions on the conference, let me know, but otherwise I will see you over in their pop-up group or in 2 weeks' time when the conference starts. Ladies, thanks for hanging out with me, and if you are prepping for the conference and you want to share your prep, we'd love to see what you're doing to get yourself ready for it. Bye.